So far we've gone over vectors, we went over how to add and subtract them. We also went over how to draw them. Okay, we went over navigation and we went over a problem with navigation. We did not have time to go over work. So today we're going to go over work, alright? So, when you're talking about work, it's a physics term. Okay? And there's two parts to work, which we talked about. Work is equal to, so we're talking about work right now. It's equal to the magnitude of a force, so force is a vector, times a distance d. Okay? So this force is a vector. So you find the magnitude of the vector, or the length of the vector, or the strength of the force in this case. D is a distance. What we also need to know is what static equilibrium is. Static equilibrium is when an object is at rest. So it's not moving. Okay, and that means the sum of the forces acting on it. And remember, force was a vector. Must be 0. That would make sense, right? Because if it's not moving, it's not the forces. Like, let's say it's a pendulum. A pendulum is a thing like this, and it swings back and forth. If it's not moving at all, the force here and the force here are equal. So if you added them up, they would be 0. Because one is moving in this direction, and the other one is moving in this direction. So we could say, like, this one would be negative 5, 0, and this one would be 5, 0. Actually, probably the other way around. This one would be 5, 0, since it's moving in the positive direction. This one would be negative 5, 0. If we added them together, 5 plus negative 5 equals 0, 0 plus 0 equals 0, so then it would be the 0 vector. Because if it's not moving, it's still, the forces have to be equal. They're acting in opposite directions, so their signs will be opposite, but they will be equal. Yeah.
So is work like a acronym?
No, work is like it's like how much work is done to move something 15 feet.
Oh, so it's just
It's not it's a specific physics term.
oh,
Yeah. So it's like, if you have to push a stalled automobile or lift a heavy object, then you're doing work. Because the force is you pushing it, and the distance, you're pushing it over a certain amount of distance. The work is you doing the whole thing, putting it all together. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay.